then we're going to put you there. Yes, if you're giving your thoughts on albums. So might as well give you what I guess I'll call the article version, the monologue version, though, whatever you want to launch it as version, right? Here's the biggest issue with the albums the way they are currently. And it has nothing to do with money or finances or whatever people want to say when it comes to being locked or... To me, that's not the biggest issue. The issue with albums right now, in my opinion, is the fact that it completely contradicts everything that Marvel Snap specifically has reiterated to us repeatedly for the last year and a half, if you are including beta. And what I mean by that is they use two words over and over and over again. The two words that they target in most of their advertisement and their promotion for new product and new game, whether it's out to outsource new customers or to keep the current player base happy. There are two words that they use repeatedly, and that is unique collection. They want us all to be able to build our collection in a way that is unique to us. They want us to say, pick a variant that you like and enjoy splitting that variant. Create this possible version of this deck because it's a deck that you enjoy playing, right? So yes, everybody has a different track and they have different ways that you can go ahead and grab your variants throughout the game, right? That's, of course, that's normal. However, albums completely contradicts that, right? Albums is basically saying, here, if you want specific achievements in the game, you have to have these 12 specific variants, and they're the same for every single person. So for the less important, unique pieces to what makes someone's collection their collection, which is their avatars and their emotes, you are now emphasizing that more of our collections will tentatively be looking the same because you're incentivizing us to get these specific variants to complete the collection, to get the thing that most of us want. That was the #1 promoted piece of what was coming in December, emotes. And the fact that these emotes are stuck behind this situation right here, that it has to be 12 specific variants, is the complete contrast to what this game has promoted to us for a year and a half. Now, from the perspective of a developer and game company for a second here, right? Of course, and they've said this to us on other occasions, and this holds true here too, that the game is going to do what it needs and wants to do as a business to appropriately sustain the business model, also known as they're going to make money how they need to make money, right? And I get that, right? There's a bunch of different ways, and we could go on that argument for a whole nother half hour, 45, 1 hour, 3 hours when it comes to monetization of games, right? Is this a collective card game? Is this a gacha game? Is this what is this exactly, right? The thing that made it so different was that you had the flexibility up until yesterday to build a collection how you wanted to in two different ways. Number one, you could care about variants if you wanted to, and you can get the variants that you want, and you can save up and you can farm for them and you can do those kinds of things, and it's great. But then on the other end of it, if you just wanted to play the game and you don't care what the cards look like, you just care what the cards do, you can be super efficient. There are creators even in this game who are incredibly lean, free-to-play, efficient farmers in the game, and they do really, really well because it's not about the way it looks, it's about the way it feels. And that's a big part of how albums launched that I think that was missed. This doesn't feel good, right? This felt like talk about it promo, hype it up, talk about it promo, paywall. That's how this came off. You know, you look at some of the biggest spending players and creators in this game, And the second albums premiered, not one person in all of Marvel Snap, the millions of people who play this game, no matter if you spent $0 or tens of thousands of dollars, it doesn't matter. Not one person had a full album. You know the creators that get all of the variants. You know the players that emphasize how cool all they are and they get them as fast as they can. You know them. And if you don't, go follow them because they're great people. Super Tech God, go find him. Cozy, he's got them all. Dexter, he's got them all. Default Dan, he's got all the Dan hips. None of them could fill one album on launch. And the only reason some of them now have them filled was because they then went into the new shop to specifically say, okay, so this new feature with the shop, with the featured mystery variant, which is supposed to help you be leaner in farming these variants to complete these collections. Now, this is a step in the right direction of being able to make this process in albums work, which is to say, hey, listen, if we're going to make you target very specific things, sure, if you're free to play or you're a spend, doesn't matter, save up your resources, wait for when there's featured mystery variants, and then you'll have an increased chance, key wording on that, increased chance of a venomized villains variant in particular for this. Now, the problem with that is the breakdown. Okay, the breakdown for those who haven't seen it, the featured mystery variant drop table is this. For every 12 of them you open, you'll get 3 of them that are featured. And I know for a fact that most people who are trying to complete albums, they're missing more than 3. Hell, they're probably missing more than 6. So there's a combination here, okay? There's a combination of them launching with so much hype and promo for the community as a way to customize your player's experience. I'm totally about that. It's marketing. That's fine. The launch execution of then having it on launch, have not one person be able to have a demonstration of one of those emotes is a fail. To then lock it with the featured mystery variant at a 25% drop success rate is a huge fail. And it's really the first time ever that Marvel Snap felt, in my opinion, like really felt gotcha. And I know that's not intentional. No game wants to feel that way. It's not going to stop me from playing the game because I love the game as the game. I don't care how it looks. I have influence on my own collection, but it's not going to stop me from the enjoyment of when I'm actually playing the game. That part's not going to end. And I don't think it should end for you either based on cosmetics. Let's remember, this is exclusively features that are meant to customize the cosmetic look of your play experience in the game. Okay? Exclusively that. With that said, the game needs to monetize, and I understand and can respect that too. But I do feel that this whole rollout was an incredibly poor representation of this new feature. It should have came with a new emote that every single person got sent in their inbox, because that's a way that you welcome every player into the idea of new emotes. Because now you have 6 and you can remove one that you don't use anymore for said new one. That was a simple thing they could have done. Could have happened. Didn't. Okay. Number 2, the featured mystery variant. 25% on that for the 800 gold cost. Not okay with that. Not okay with that. I get that you get 3 super rare variants 6 rares, and 3 of the features. The problem with all of that is the 25% chance to get one is awful. Absolutely awful feeling. I don't know if the answer is a 50% chance or not. I don't think as a business model that does make sense. But even 4 out of 12, 5 out of 12, maybe just under a 50% chance, kind of, break the casino difference there. Sure, that's fine. I can live with that. 3 out of 12 on that. I'm sorry. For 800 gold on those, for something that players would save their gold up for, that's a missed opportunity right there. Incredibly poor and, in my opinion, greedy calculation. Sorry, second dinner. It's a greedy calculation to do it at 25%. I have a better chance. With my spotlights overall than I do getting 3 featured mystery variants. That's a problem. The cosmetics should be easier than the cards. Lastly, when it comes to the albums themselves, people want the emotes first and they want the cards second. People want to complete an album to get emotes to customize their experience. It's not about the card. It's not. Let me remind you of that. We want to customize the interaction with our community. So if that was just flip-flopped, if I put that back on, right? If you just flip-flopped the card at the 9-star level with the emote at the 12-star level and just go wing wong, that would make so many more people want to move forward to get to that 9. That would really incentivize people. Lastly, launching this with cards that did not exist in the game yet was a big fail. Big fail. The fact that most of these Jim Lees were not accessible, I think it was 5 of them? The fact that 5 of these only existed up until the launch of this is a part of the issue. It just cumulatively was very poorly chosen, right? There were a lot of marketing decisions that were made based on finance first and guests second. And I get that. I just disagree with it heavily because you burned a huge bridge with the community by rolling this out right before the holiday season. Right? This is supposed to be the time where the community comes together and we celebrate the holidays and you give back. And yes, okay, you've got Twitch drops, which don't even get me started. Why don't we get targeted boosters on our Twitch drops at the end of the year? Really? You're going to give us random boosters and a random variant? Come on now. You could do better than this. But that's a topic for another cocktail. With this, we needed more albums at launch. To have only 3 little tiny albums, and then we're going to have the Hellfire Gala one, where none of those variants, again, exist. It was just very poorly misordered when it comes to what you, second dinner, think is important to the Marvel Snap player that would incentivize them to care about albums. We wanted the emotes, okay? We didn't want the variants that you get from the album. We want the emotes. To force us to 12 is not okay. Not okay. That was pushing it too far. The completionist earns the variant, not the lucky one. The completionist should get the variant. You did that for the store. You did that for the Newverse shop, where you have the point system, and then once you spend 200 USD, you get the exclusive variant in the Newverse shop. You didn't make an emote final on that one. It's a card. That should be the thing that you reach towards. The emote is the interaction that we've been begging for with the community, and you missed it. I'm sorry. So when it comes to albums, let me make this final point, and then I'll wrap this part up. Overall, this is an incredibly healthy thing for the game. Overall, it is. I think that this is going to be something that over time, over 3, 4, 6 months, whatever it is, as it kind of normalizes, we get more albums in the game, more ways to get different things for the game. And Second Dinner makes some adjustments, because I heavily invite that. I think it is a very healthy thing for the game. I really do. But the team that conceptualized the launch of it, with what to have available when, and have what resources be at what costs, that was, for lack of a better term, y'all fucked up. So I know I'm not alone with that. I know I'm not alone with that. And I really hope that the holiday feedback comes back strong, and that Second Dinner, come the end of January, comes back stronger with a better version of how all of this looks. And based on their track record, I'm very optimistic about that. But you have to call a spade a spade. You have to say what you like and what you don't like. Most of it, I really, really like. But the way that you launched it, Second Dinner, was really, really sticky, yucky, disgusting. It felt low. It felt very low. And you're way better than that. So, there you go. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You damn right I'm putting that up on YouTube.